Hello, welcome to 15minuteguitar.com. In today's lesson, we're going to look at the classic track by Ed Sheeran, Castle on the Hill. It starts off with a little guitar part at the top of the guitar here on the 12th fret. He does 12 on the D string with the first finger. He does 14 on the G string with the third finger, and then the little pinky finger on fret 15 of the B string. And there's a rhythm to it where he's going. So it starts off with down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, and that cycles round. So and the hard bit about that is just keeping it constant and in time. Okay, let's go to a playthrough and I'll break down the track for you. Okay, so what I used there on the intro was just a little looper to loop that first section round. So if you've got something like a ditto looper or a boss looper, you can just loop that first section, that little rhythm with this bit. So let that keep on going, and then you can practice the chords over the top. Now, I'm going to keep this relatively simple. I'm going to do all down strums on these chords. So we ain't got to worry too much about the right hand, and we're just going to worry about the left hand with the chord changes. So it starts off with a D chord, so okay, and as I said, we're just pumping on the right hand, just all down strums, so just all down strums, just pumping that the right hand on the strings there, just doing all down strums. Then we change from a D, so to a D F sharp. Now the quickest way to get to that would be doing like the Eric Clapton way of doing it, where he puts the thumb over the top to the F sharp note on the low E string here. That works great and it works fine. You don't have to change your fingers either. Or if you want to, you can move your fingers. You can use your third finger here as a pivot finger, and you can move your first and your second fingers up like that so your first finger goes onto the second fret of the low E string, and your second finger goes onto the second fret of the G string like that. Both are perfectly acceptable, okay? So you can go if you want to, or this. I change my fingers like that, I move my fingers around, but both are perfectly acceptable, okay? So if you want to use your thumb over the top, if you can do that, that's absolutely fine. So, okay, we do just one strum on that D with F sharp, so D over F sharp. All that means, if you're not sure what that means, the D slash F sharp, it just means it's a D chord with an F sharp in the bass. So just like an inversion, so you put the F sharp in the bass as opposed to a normal D in the bass. Then it changes to a G chord. And what I think he does actually is when he does the song, so he does it without the first finger on the second fret of the A string, and I think he's just doing it with the second finger on the third fret of the low E string here, and the third finger on the third fret of the B string at the top here. So okay, so far we got, and we pump down on the G as we did before, just constant down strums. Then we move to a B minor 7 chord here, which is very similar to the D F sharp, but we just move our first finger down onto the second fret of the A string there, okay? And then that's our B minor 7 there. Really nice chord, okay? So just build this up slowly. So we got last chord is A. You can do it A like that, but in this song we're going to do it with a bar across the second fret of the D, the G, and the B, because in a second the next chord we come to is an A with a C sharp in the bass, or A slash C sharp chord, and we want to use our third finger to reach across to the fourth fret of the A string. That's the next chord. So we go to A, and then right on the end of that bar we put our third finger on the fourth fret of the A string for one strum, and then that takes us back to the cycle, start at the beginning again. So have a little listen. So Okay, one other thing you can do, I was just thinking as I was playing that through, when you get to the A, you can if you want to, when you go from the G to the A, you can, if you want, you can sort of keep your third finger there as well and use that as the sort of the note that you use to pivot to the A, and that now become an A sus4 if you want to do that chord as well. A sounds fine, A sus4 sounds just as good as well. So I'll do it with the A sus4 a minute. So. More of a movement with the fingers if you do it like that, because you have to get the third up there quite quickly. All right. So that's the main part of the song. Okay, so that's sort of like the intro, and that's also the verse. The next part of the song, similar chords, it just goes to the G. So it goes G to A, D, G, back round again, G. Last one, it just ends on an A chord there. Okay, so I'll do the full cycle. So. And then you're back to. Sorry, D. Okay, you're back to that cycle again. The only thing now, the last little part to learn, when it goes to like the mid-late part of the song, it goes to B minor 7, all the same chords. It's like recycling. That's what I like about Ed Sheeran. It's great songwriting. He sort of recycles his chords and uses the the intro and the verse chords for the mid-late, but just puts them in different orders. That's what he tends to do quite a lot of. So B minor 7 on this one. So. To A, with the A we did before with the bar across there, then to D, then to G, and back round again. Last one, it stays on the G, and it ends on the A. And then you're back right to the beginning again, so. Okay, great one for beginners that, lots of down strumming with the right hand, some nice little chords as well there with not too much movement. I hope you enjoyed that lesson, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.